the air inside the balloon, and that balloon will exert pressure into the walls of the air exerts pressure into the walls of balloon, with the help of which balloon will be inflated. So the inflation so the balloon is inflated with the help of air from our mouth. So air enters the balloon and it will make pressure into the walls of the balloon, which makes the balloon inflated. So these are some of the experiments. Now we try to see some of the usefulness of this air pressure. So air pressure is very useful for us. As you can see in the diagram, if there was no air pressure, you could not have we cannot inflate the balloons. And not only that, the straw which we use, that also works on the principle of air pressure. So as you start sucking the straw, inside the straw the air pressure becomes low, but the air pressure will be high outside the straw, and because of that the substance which you are eating, suppose which you are drinking, juice or water, because of the lower pressure inside the straw, you are able, all the juice and all, it will be traveling from straw towards your mouth. And we also have many other some of the uses of air pressure which you can go through it. It's because of air pressure the vehicle, it's because of the air pressure tires of bicycle, cars and all are able to inflate, they are able to fill the tires of bicycle, cars and all. Now air is need for burning. So this experiment you can do it at home. What you can do, just take a candle and burn that candle, and above that put a glass. So after some time you will see that the candle will no longer be burning. This proves that air supports combustion. Then the next topic we have is water. So water is very important substance for us, and it's one of the reason with the help of which life is sustained on earth. So water has many uses out here. As you can see, it's used for cooking, drinking, washing, etc. And in some areas it is also used for producing electricity. Now water contains 75% of the earth, but from that 75%, it's very less percent of water is used for drinking and all, because rest of the water, those water cannot be used. So the water which are in lakes, rivers and all, underground water, those are, and rainwater, those are water are useful for sustaining life. Now what we see, the rest of the water which are in oceans, those water are not fit for drinking. But the waters which we have in river and rainwaters and all, and well waters and all, those waters are drinkable water, but sometimes it contains impurities which might be very harmful for us. So first we need to remove those impurities, water impurities. So in some cases we usually have two types of impurities, which are soluble and which are insoluble impurities. So soluble impurities are those which can mix with water, and insolubles are those which cannot mix with water. So first we're gonna see how do we remove insoluble impurities. So insoluble impurities, like as you can see in the diagram, muddy water. So water which is full of mud. So if you keep the muddy water for some time, you will see that all the mud will settle down into the bottom of the water, and all the clean waters will be at the top. Now this process is known as sedimentation. So out here we just need to wait for some time. So just take a water in a beaker and keep on waiting for some time. Then you will observe that all the mud will settle down at the bottom and you will be able to get clean water. This is sedimentation. Now after sedimentation comes decantation. So once you get the clean water, you can transfer that clean water into another beaker. This process is known as decantation. Now next one is filtration. So what you can do, instead, suppose you don't have much time, so instead of sedimentation and decantation, you just take the muddy water, put that into a funnel, as you can see, and in funnel you can put some kind of paper which is known as filter paper. So after that, what it does, when you put the dirty water, the filter paper absorbs all the dirt and it will produce clean water at the bottom. So this process is known as filtration. So these were some of the ways with the help of which we could remove insoluble impurities. Now, in order to remove soluble impurities, the technique is different. So first one is evaporation. So what it does, suppose we have water in which soluble impurities are there, which we cannot remove physically or with our hand, and which we cannot see with our naked eye. So what we can do, we just need to evaporate it. That means we need to heat water in such an extent that all the waters is evaporated and only the substance, only the impurities are left behind. This process known as evaporation. Next one is distillation, somewhat similar to evaporation, but there are few more steps added. As you can see in the diagram, the water vapor, so there is a muddy water out here full of impurities. So as soon as heat is supplied, so water starts heating and the water vapor is coming out. Now that coming out water vapor, it is added to another tube. Now that water vapor is passed through the tube, and in that tube, the tube is cooled down, as you can see the blue line. So once the tube is cooled down, again the vapor will be converted into gas, and the water which is obtained is very much pure water. So this process is known as distillation, and water which is obtained is known as distilled water. Now journey from water to our home. So as you can see in the diagram, how you get water at your home, we will discuss about it. So first is by the process of sedimentation. So water is pumped into tank from here. So all the waters from the river is pumped into the tank, and after sometimes what happens, all the dirt will settle down inside the tank and clean water will be remaining. Now all the insoluble impurities will be settling down, only you will be getting clean water. Then after that, filtration. Now what it does, after that the clean water is transferred to another chamber, that is known as filtration. So in that what happens, they might be very small impurities which are insoluble but not possible to see with naked eye. So those are filtered out there in filtration tank. Usually sands, gravels, charcoals are removed out there, so very much small impurities. Then after that we have chlorination. So in chlorination, what it does, they add some of the important medicine out there which kills harmful bacteria and disease causing germs. Then after chlorination, they are transferred to storage tank, and finally from storage tank those water are transferred to your house. That's how you get clean water. So with this we end the chapter, and what it does is, what we can do, so children can do question number 1, name the following, choose the correct answer, and they can do this question number 5, answer detail. So with this we end the chapter. Thank you.